All right, my amazing, wonderful, incredible coaching clients, we need to talk a little bit about YouTube, and I'm going to show you some examples today. Shout out to Thomas Howe out in Kansas City who said, Patrick, could you just please sum this stuff up for me and make it simple and easy for me to get to work on? And yes, I do need to save some time on our coaching sessions. It's starting to go a little long. So let me try and summarize everything that we need to do, know, and execute on here in YouTube between you and I only. This is top secret, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely no circumstances are you going to share this information with any other realtor. So let's get to work. So number one, it is 1000% evident to me, like I said in my public YouTube SEO video, I want to reiterate to you, this is not a theory. This is not a, I think it'll work. It's not a, hey, this might work. This is a good idea. It's none of those. This is, if you don't get your butt into gear and take market share, you're going to lose out. If you don't get 15 videos done as soon as humanly possible on the SEO only topics, then you're going to lose a lot of money. And if someone else in your marketplace does it first, then you're out. So we have a short window to go all in, to get the market share, and then to expand from there. Okay. What am I talking about? Okay, well, let's just be clear about this. Many, many months ago, and it's actually great because I'm going to show you some examples today. I had my Tom Ferry coach said, hey, there's this thing called YouTube SEO. You should check it out. And I was like, that's interesting. I was also talking to the founder of Sierra Interactive, the website company. This is a guy who's built some of the most successful SEO websites in the industry. And he said, Patrick, probably don't spend too much time on building SEO. You should focus on YouTube. So this all kind of happened last year around March. And I was like, YouTube SEO. Ugh. So yes, I had to go in and do a lot of research. You're welcome. Okay. There was hardly any examples. There was only Karen Carr, who was kind of weird. I didn't buy her thing because I just started studying. Then, as some of you know, I ran into Malcolm Lawson. Shout out to a client that I lost. I actually found Malcolm Lawson doing a search for my client in Maryland. And I was like, who's this guy? Look at how many views he's got. Look at how cool his video is. And I clicked, looked at it, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I actually reached out to Malcolm Lawson from his YouTube video to figure out more about who he was and what is he doing and how is he doing this and how did it work. And that, my friends, started the journey. It was when that guy showed me the game. Then, now, I didn't have any evidence until I ran into Ken Posick. And some of you guys saw that interview where Ken was like, hey, I'm creating leads every day from my YouTube channel. And I was like, how are you doing that? So I interviewed him. It's on my YouTube channel last year. So, but his strategy didn't make a lot of sense, but I was like, okay, this is cool. At least they're making money. Malcolm says he's making money. Karen Carr is clearly making money. I don't exactly how to understand this thing. I don't know anyone else making any money on this stuff. Okay, so fast forward many months later, some of you took action, created video content, followed some of my weird, stupid SEO advice, top listing agent, top buyer agent, relocation. Some of you saw me get into the Ahrefs research tool, and I was looking stuff up and going, geeking out on all kinds of crazy things. Okay, so here we are, fast forward. That was like March of last year. It is March of 1 year later. This is not a drill, my friends. This is a get into action. Let's take a look at some results right now. Okay, share my screen. Do, 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 do. Let's go over here to Randy White. Big shout out to Randy White in Austin. So I saw Randy White on a Tom Ferry virtual buyer consultation, and she said all of her buyers came from YouTube. And then I got an opportunity to interview as one of her new coach potentials. And I remembered her video. I asked her the question about her YouTube channel. She started to tell me a little about it. She probably thought I was weird because I was like, I need to be your coach. And she was probably a little taken back, but now she understands why. So this young lady, 1 year ago, look at this. She created some stuff on YouTube. Pros and cons of living in. Look at that, 8,000 views. Austin, Texas living, East Austin. Austin, Texas living, Central Austin. Austin, Texas living, South Austin, West Austin. What are closing costs, right? North Austin, neighborhoods. This little channel right here, but she hasn't uploaded a video in 6 months. She closed in 2020 8 sales from leads that called her, reached out to her from the YouTube video, no advertising. Now, the explanation of why this works is because she was covering all the different neighborhoods. She was covering all the different areas. She was talking about the pros and cons of living in. And that is super useful information for someone who's moving to understand all the different dynamics of real estate. This is why this works. So congratulations, Randy. And I'm super excited about what we're doing next. Let's go over here to Shayna and Cameron, my 2 great coaching clients who started with me. Let's go back all the way down. Okay, they're going into their 2nd year with me, right? But 11 months ago, we were like, hey, you should do these YouTube videos. And there's Shayna, look, lighting, just sitting there talking. And I was saying, hey guys, let's do a couple videos. Let's do a buyer home checklist. Then we did the moving to South Carolina. Ding, ding, ding. Does that sound familiar, anyone? Moving to Blythewood, South Carolina. Buying a home in, selling a home, okay, 10 months ago, okay, buying and selling at the same time. Great job, Cameron, right? PCSing to Fort Jackson, under contract, how to write winning offers, okay, right? Columbia, South, what to do, how to find off-market properties, things you need to know about VA loan, pros and cons. Are you guys getting the picture? Now, this awesome young couple, right, 10 months ago, followed the advice, has done a bunch of new construction stuff, by the way, which is really cool in their marketplace. They have 5 deals in escrow right now. YouTube leads reached out to them. They put them under contract. So 10 months, quite a few videos, 5 under contract. Cameron was just telling me that someone in his sphere of influence called them up, wants to list their house. And Cameron said, so funny. He was like, man, it's so interesting because when they watched a bunch of your videos, they heard all the advice. And one of the husbands said to the wife, hey, Cameron said this is what we should do. And literally he quoted him from the video. So cool. Congrats, guys. Super excited about what you guys are up to. Okay, next, Mr. Ryan Schramm. This guy is in my mastermind group, a good buddy of mine. And his story, I think, is very interesting. So if we go back and we look, he did a bunch of videos a long time ago, right? 2 years ago. Will tax reform impact you? blah, 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 2 years ago, no view, no view, no view, no view, no view. I mean, just train wreck, nothing for a year, nothing, 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 nothing. And then all of a sudden, what happens here? Living in San Clemente 7 years ago or 7 months ago. Does that sound familiar, anyone? Then he does, wait, look at this. Top 8 things to know before moving to San Clemente. He started following the advice. Then August housing market. Then, oh, look at that. San Clemente top buyer agent. Ooh, San Clemente top listing agent. Didn't I ask all of you guys to do that? Okay, so 7 months ago, he starts doing the SEO videos. He'd had nothing for 2 years. No leads, no sales, no nothing. Right now, he's basically told me the other day, I'm getting 10 leads a month right now from YouTube leads inquiring in with him. He said, I would have already closed one, but I was out of town fishing. The guy called me on Friday, wanted to see the property over the weekend. He got home, called him on Monday. The guy said, Ryan, I'm so sorry. I put an offer in on the property, but I loved all of your YouTube videos and I wanted to work with you. So Ryan's getting 10 leads a month now after 7 months of playing around with the SEO strategy. And he already lost one deal, which is he was actually pretty happy about. Look, 72 subscribers. He's just got a couple videos up, guys. This is the game. And then big shout out to my Tom Ferry coach who introduced me to this channel, which is where my mind got blown. Because my Tom Ferry coach said, this weird dude created $1 million in gross commissions last year. And when I went and looked at this playlist right here, and I saw how this playlist laid out, let's just wait for it. And I saw all of those titles. I went, oh my gosh, this is it. This is the playlist that is 1000% SEO optimized with no other BS. That, my friends, was the deal sealer for me. The last thing is all of a sudden I remembered the interview that I did with Malcolm Lawson at the end of 2020. And I said, hey, Malcolm, what's the most important thing that you learned about real estate, YouTube in 2020? And he said that it's a land grab. A land grab. What that means is whoever gets the property, owns that land, is going to reap all of the rewards. So it's get as much as you can, as fast as you can, so that you own the space, so you get all the rewards. It's a land grab, my friends. So I am working on this list, okay, of SEO titles. Moving to, what to know, living in, cost of living, best neighborhoods, right? Buying a house in, renting in. We really have to get 15 or so variations of those videos on your niche city. Don't go broad. Do not do that. I was looking at, I was working with a coaching client in Layton, Utah, and there was a YouTube channel where the guy said, living in Utah, the state, too broad. He had 10, 15, 20,000 videos on each one of those things. My client pulled up his stats, no sales. See, too broad. We found someone who was doing living in Salt Lake City, and a young guy was crushing living in Salt Lake City. And he's like brand new and he had like 20 sales. Does that remind you a little bit of someone like Randy White? See, go niche down, okay? I need you to own your most important zip codes. We're gonna have a living in, moving to playlist for your most important zip codes. Stop over analyzing the details. Get yourself in front of the camera. We need to do two things when we're in those videos. We need to make sure that you are presenting hyper local expert knowledge. Hyper local expert knowledge. Share stuff that only realtors understand. This versus that. What's good about this? What's bad about this? What type of property types you get here at this price range? What's going on? It's trending in this community. What the cool lifestyle stuff is about this. Why buyers like this, they don't like that. What they want here and what they don't want there. What they get. Just share your hyper local expertise with people, please, because that's what will be attractive to them. And then any of your real estate resourceful information that would be helpful for them to know, so that they know that you're an expert and working with you is better than working with anyone else who's just a walking salesperson who opens doors. This is the game, my friends. Get to work. This is not a joke. Hurry up.